Hey everyone, welcome back to Busy Garden Life. I am in the garden today because it is time to harvest our garlic. So garlic you typically plant in the fall, September, October, or at least before the first frost date. And then it takes about 8 to 10 months to get ready to harvest. So we are just before our 10-month mark. Another way to be able to determine whether or not it's ready besides just the time frame is if 1/3 to a half of the leaves on the bottom start to yellow. So once you start seeing that yellowing, you know that the garlic is pretty good and ready to be harvested. So I'm just gonna go along. I have my fancy little trowel here. You could just kind of try to pull it up, but I don't want to ruin it at all. So I'm just going to dig it up a little bit with my trowel and just harvest all of our garlic. And then we're going to take it inside to let it cure for another 2 to 4 weeks. So we want to let it completely dry out so that there's no moisture. And this will help to keep our garlic longer so that it lasts hopefully throughout the whole winter until next time that we harvest next year. So let's go ahead and get going digging up this garlic. Okay, so I planted 25 bulbs or cloves last year and I got 25 bulbs of garlic. So super exciting. Now some of them are smaller than what I had thought they would be, but I'm not quite sure if that's the type of garlic I bought or if they needed another week or two in order to continue to grow. Either way, it still works, smells garlicky and great. So I am going to head inside and we're going to kind of brush off some of the dirt and allow it to cure. We're going to hang it in a nice dry place where there's no moisture and out of direct sunlight. So the garage probably. That way it can dry for another couple weeks. And at that point in time, we will save it to store it, and then we will also keep a couple so that we can replant them in the fall. So we want to keep a couple of those so that we can use them in order to grow more garlic next year. So let's go inside and get these hanging. Okay, so I am back to the house and I am going to go ahead and just gently brush off the dirt on the garlic. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just needs to be brushed off a little bit. And then I'm just going to kind of set it in a cool place, like I said, in the garage, and make sure that's well ventilated. That way air can kind of get around it. I'm not going to necessarily hang it. You could hang it if you want to, but I'm just going to find a nice spot to set it and let it go for a couple weeks. So let's get to brushing these off real quickly. Okay, so I am done, and let's see, you can see I just put it on a bin right here in the garage, so nothing fancy, but you can see that the tops are open. I tried to spread them out as much as possible in order to allow them to dry. Now notice I did not use water to wash the garlic off. You just want to use your hands to brush whatever you can off, because creating more moisture can result in mold and mildew on your garlic. So you do not want to wash them with water. Just do a quick wash with your hands and then let them air dry. And what we are looking for as they're drying is for that outer shell just to become very papery and brittle, as you would find in the grocery store. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And then we can kind of trim off the roots a little bit and trim off the stem and store them over the winter in order to use. When they're done that way, you're going to store them in a mesh bag or a wooden crate, something that's breathable. Again, you don't want to collect any moisture, and you want to allow it to breathe in order for it to last 6 to 8 months. All right, so that's about it for garlic. We have done our harvesting, and like I said, I am going to save a couple of these so that I can replant them. And actually, I'm going to do more than 25. Like, I think I only bought 3 or 4 bulbs last year, which only gave me 25 bulbs this year. So I am actually going to save a lot more so that I can hopefully plant maybe up to 50, because we use garlic every week. So if I'm using a bulb of garlic once a week or every 2 weeks, then I probably need about 50 of them. So I'm going to try to do that this year, or save that many this year, so that I can plant them and have it bigger harvest next year. But whatever works for your family, make sure that's what you're saving in order to replant. All right, so that's it for the garlic. Stay tuned, and maybe we'll find a new way to store it, like can some minced garlic. I'm going to try and figure that out. That way we don't have to chop it up all year round, and we just have fresh garlic as needed. So stay tuned, like and subscribe to the page. That way you can get all of the harvesting updates, as well as some of our preserving and canning, and then our meal prepping as we start heading back into the fall and winter, and what we can do with our harvest throughout the year.